2024 WDF World Championship. For the 37th time, the Lakeside Country Club is the venue for this very special tournament. There are 80 matches this year. It's expanded, it's bigger and better than ever before. 4 trophies are on offer, the boys, girls, women's and men's, which is going to be the focus this evening. My name's Dan McCarthy. I'll be in the commentary box for the duration, and my 2 co-commentators for the evening are alongside me. First of all, we have a man who bleeds WDF. It is the Inside the WDF podcaster, Andrew Sinclair. How are you doing, Andrew?
Very good, Dan. Very glad to be here. Big tournament, bigger and better than ever before, as you said, and 4 great games to get started in this new Friday slot.
And joining myself and Andrew is a man who's played on this stage before. He's played on the Alexandra Palace stage before, but more importantly this week, he is Kai Smith's dad. Raman Smith, welcome back to Lakeside.
Thank you, a pleasure to be here at the home of World Darts.
You've played on this stage before. Just explain to the viewers how special this occasion is for everyone.
Yeah, it's fantastic. If you're a rookie or even if you're an experienced player, as soon as you touch that back room, it's on. You've got the photos of the greatest players that have ever played the game on that wall, and you know that you're part of something special. So to be a player here on that stage, as soon as you hit that race, your heart just pumps. You're ready, you're keen, you're part of history, and it's something you can't explain. You have to experience it to be able to explain it.
And obviously you're not just going to be in the commentary box this week, you're going to be offering support to Kai, who qualified via the South Australian Open last year. How's he feeling ahead of his Lakeside debut?
Yeah, he's nervous, as he should be. I mean, he's a young lad playing on an iconic stage, and he's really keen to follow my footsteps, and hopefully he does well. I think he'll put the nerves aside and get on with the job. He's got experience on the alley pally, I think he'll be well.
Well, the men's side of the draw is what we're focusing on this evening. 4 games are coming up with 7 debutants in total. We've got the return of the former WDF world number 1 Brian Raman takes on Groeneveld. We've got England against New Zealand as Scott Walters takes on Craig Brown. We've got the first of many Australians taking part, Nick Cassar against another Belgian in Francois Schweyen. And ending the evening we have got Carl Wilkinson against Jacob Taylor. Andrew, it's a really, really open field this year, because last year at the end of Lakeside there was quite an exodus to the PDC in terms of players who won their tour card, so it's a great opportunity for anyone to come through this year.
Absolutely, and I think you'll see 4 players who have a great chance of going really deep today in the opening game and the last game. So Brian is the only one of the session tonight who's been here before. He was top seed last time, got to the quarterfinals. He's had a tough year coming off the PDC tour, rebuilding his arm after injury, but he won the Italian Open in September. He's looking sharp, even beat me at the World Masters, so he must be in good form. And then he's playing a guy in Groeneveld who changed jobs earlier this year, is now practicing a lot more, has more time to practice, and his game to qualify here, one of the most impressive displays of finishing I've ever seen, beat Paul Mitchell 6-3, 5-ton plus finishes in 6 legs from him. So Cornet's very capable, they're both very fast, should be a great game, and 2 great players in the last game of the session as well, Carl and Jacob.
Well, Brian was the number 1 seed 2 years ago, and touching on this year's number 1 seed, a man from down under, Danny Porter, the first time in 22 years that an Australian has been the number 1 seed. How do you think he's going to fare in his 2nd year at Lakeside? Because he admitted last year he badly underperformed, but he's feeling more confident this time around.
Yeah, I think it's more underprepared. So now he's got the experience on there under his belt. I think he'd be better prepared. So the more you can prepare, the better your performance is going to be. So I think it'd be okay this year.
Andrew, you follow the WDF system very, very closely indeed. Who in your mind are the real runners and riders for the men's tournament?
Yeah, I think Ray's right about Danny, where last year Danny probably wasn't as prepared as he could have been. This year he's been to every WDF tournament in Australia, was at the Alice Springs last weekend. He also went to the New Zealand Open. So Danny is consistent, he has the ability to go deep. I think Brian, Cornet, Carl, Jacob, I think even Francois Schweyen tonight is a great player people might not know a lot about. But I think you look at the bottom half, right? Jimmy Van Ski, no one's won more WDF titles than him this year, 8. Neil Duff, he's won on that stage before. And Gary Stone from Scotland, who, scoring-wise, is as good as anyone here, just hasn't had the rub of the green in the past.
Well, Jimmy Van Ski is the bookmaker's favourite for this tournament. As you mentioned, Andrew, He's won more WDF titles than anyone this year. He's been playing so much darts across all the circuits. I mean, how difficult is he going to be to stop?
Yeah, I think with Jimmy, the scoring is so impressive from him. He's a great finisher, but I don't think many people are going to score more 180s and 140s than him. And that relentless scoring power, especially as we get into the longer formats, is hard to deal with.
I think the relentless part is the biggest key there. So when you're playing on the stage or you're playing in front of big crowds, there's already enough pressure there. If you've got somebody up there banging 140, ton, and then taking out the finishes, that puts more pressure back on you. So how can you handle that? How can you come up with a plan? Or are you patient enough to sit in the pocket and let him burn out and then take your chances when they come along? But at the same time, is Jimmy going to give you a chance? His leg-on-leg pressure, his performances have been consistent, reliable, and as you said, his finishing's always on point.
Raymond, I think I probably know the answer to this question that I'm going to ask you, but which game in particular are you looking forward to? Obviously with a nod to Mick Cassar, someone you know very well from Australia.
Absolutely, I'm looking forward. Cassar comes from a great pedigree. He's developing really, really well in the Australian circuit at the moment. I'm looking forward to that game. Obviously, I'm looking forward to my dad moment and watching Kai, but tonight, for me, it's all about Cassar.
Yeah, it certainly is. I'm going to put you both on the spot now. Who wins the men's tournament?
I don't think you can go past Jimmy at the moment, can you?
For a bit of variety, I'll say Gary Stone. The way the draw works out, those two probably play in the quarterfinals, so I think for me that's where the title was won and lost, but there's 46 other players, right, who want to do it and have the ability, but they're the two I would look at.
Who do you think could potentially be a surprise package and come through the field?
For mine, I think Peter Machin. I'm not sure if this is going to be his last hurrah, but he's a World Trophy winner. He can win, he can play on stage, he can play the big games, he can play the big averages, a lot of experience, a lot of international experience, knows how to be patient under the pump. He's my dark horse.
Andrew?
Yeah, I'll be cheeky and go with two. I think Carl Wilkinson, who's playing tonight, he's won the Isle of Man Open this year, won the British Open this year, a very good player. I think he has got the ability to surprise a lot of people. The other one I'll say is Shane McGurk, who we'll see in action tomorrow. He'll be the first Irishman to play in a men's World Championship here in a decade. Won the Irish Open last year. He's played on the Pro Tour. Shane's a very capable player, and I think where he is in the draw, I think he'll be looking to make a good start against Mark Barilli, and then who knows what it's going to be from there once you have that stage experience that we've already spoken about.
Just moving back to tonight's action, obviously we've got Brian Raman and Groeneveld kicking off the show. Two very, very fast players. These fans in attendance should really be entertained by that one. How much pressure is it to open the show in a tournament, Raymond?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, you're setting the scene. Like, I haven't had the opportunity to play the first game of a tournament, but I played the first game of the night. And even that in itself is nerve-wracking because you know what time you start. And then you see the crowd coming in the building, and as you're practicing, you can hear it. You can hear the energy starting. And then, yes, the first game up, it pretty much sets the tone. And I think we've got a great game to set the tone.
We certainly do. Well, without further ado, we are about to kick off the 2024 WDF World Championship here at Lakeside. 80 games between now and Sunday. And taking you through as MC for the week, we have the pup, Mr. Anthony Dundas.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to start our first match in about 1 minute time. 8 magnificent players on the stage and 3 world-class match referees. Allow you to introduce you to number 1, the birthday boy from Wales, Garen Roderick. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the World Darts Federation, a very warm welcome to the 2024 Mission WDF Lakeside World Championship. This is the home of World Darts. This is Lakeside! We begin the men's first round, played over the best of 3 sets. And we welcome to the stage, first of all, a man making his Lakeside debut after coming through the World Championship qualifiers. This year's Belfry Open finalist, the reigning Antwerp Open champion from the Netherlands, Groeneveld, Groeneveld! His opponent is a former WDF World #1, the former Belfry Open and England Open champion, the reigning Italian Open champion from Belgium, the Riddler, Brian Raman!
Well, our Lakeside love affair can begin once more. It's a very warm welcome along to the 2024 WDF World Championship, the 37th time this tournament has been staged in this wonderful venue. The focus first up is on a man trying to emulate his countryman from 2023. Andy Bartons became the first ever Belgian world champion last year in fantastic fashion, dominating nearly every game en route to the title. Brian Raman was a #1 seed here 2 years ago, beaten by Richard Veenstra in the quarterfinals. There have been signs this year that he's getting back to his very best. But it's another Dutchman who's looking to trip him up at the first hurdle in the form of debutant Connie Groeneveld, who came through the qualifier in Budapest in spectacular fashion. 5 ton-plus checkouts, including a 1-4-3 to seal his spot at Lakeside, beating Paul Mitchell 6-3. My name's Dan McCarthy. I'll be in the commentary box for the duration of the tournament, and alongside me is Mr. WDF
Thank you,
himself,
ladies and gentlemen.
Andrew
First
Sinclair.
set, first leg is Connie
I
to throw
think a
first.
lot of eyes were on
Game
this
on.
fixture in particular because it could be really fast and really spectacular.
Absolutely.
140.
You know, Brian is the only man in this session who has played here before and got to the quarterfinals last time round. Everyone knows what
100.
he's about. Cornet, a newer face to some, but very quick and very talented, as you mentioned with that Budapest qualifier victory.
91.
Yeah, Cornet is relatively little known in the darting world, and if you've never seen him play before, he's the one with the slick back hair and beard.
85.
I mean, Cornet, he's best friends with one of our referees here, Mr. Marco Meyer. They play in the same. They play in the same local pub team on a Thursday night. So, yeah, Marco's spoken to me about Cornet's talent for a long time. But
56.
Cornet used to work.
Require 130.
He used to work as a chef, Cornet, which just meant that he worked unsociable hours. He wasn't really able to travel to tournaments or practice. But I mean, he got to the Dutch Open last year. So the ability's always been there. Recent change of job has opened the door for him.
looking for his first leg at Lakeside. He drags it quite a long way south of tops, but Brian Raman not on a finish.
59. Corner, you require 20.
Double 10 then for an early nerve settler, and it's right in the top corner. Excellent start from Corne Groeneveld, a 16 darter to get things going. That'll just make himself feel an awful lot better, won't it?
Yeah, absolutely, because I mean, Corne, with being a relative newcomer, he's got minimal stage experience, right? You know, he won the Antwerp Open back in August. He beat Cliff Pryor, who we'll see on Sunday.
180.
And then he got to the Belfry Open final the week before the World Masters.
59.
And, you know, he was excellent there as well. And then got to the semis of the World Masters. But in that World Masters, he ran into the man who won it, Wesley Plaisier. And there was an element of naivety in Corne's game where Wesley was able to throw off his rhythm, just get in his way a little bit, and you could tell it unsettled him. I think this, against another quick player, suits his style, and he's come out the box absolutely flying. Was down first to a finish in the last leg and down to 81 after 9 in this one.
There was almost a literal spring in his step as he walked back then. This has been a very confident start, and he wants double 12 for an 11 darter. But a dozen darter will do fine. Excellent work from Corne Groeneveld, who certainly does not look like a newcomer. He looks like he's been doing this for years.
Third leg, it's Corne to throw first. Game on.
I mean, here I did see with some of the bookmakers, Corne was favourite for this game. So I think maybe some recognition of the performances he produced, but still was a surprise given that I thought this was a coin flip when I saw the draw done. And Brian obviously has the pedigree and it has that knowledge for the wider darting public.
Yeah, Brian Raman, since he was world #1 in the WDF system, he went off for a couple of years in the PDC. It didn't work out for him. His 2 years there were scuppered by injury, openly documented some mental health problems as well. He's just looking to get back firing. It was a shoulder problem that really harmed his chances of progression. But there were signs in the PDC. He was a European Tour quarter-finalist in Jena.
45.
He is a very talented player, and you have to be if you throw the darts that quick.
No, absolutely. I think, you know, I think Brian, I spoke to him, you know, at the World Masters. I also spoke to him at the Swedish Open earlier this year. He's really, since coming through in the PDC, and it not necessarily working for him the first time round, he's made a real effort to try and help the next generation of Belgians. So he travelled to the Swedish Open with Zanti Vandenberg, who ended up winning that tournament. You know, Brian helped fund Zanti going there and winning. And you could tell Brian was probably more happy for Zanti winning than he was for himself, right? And I think there is that selflessness in Brian's character, but he's still a winner, and he wants to win.
And he wants to break the throw. 17 leaves double top.
62.
So for a rapid first set at this year's Lakeside, double top for Corne Groeneveld. It's 1-0 to the Dutchman. What a start for the man that they nicknamed Greenfield.
Which is actually the literal English translation of his surname. So maybe not the most creative of nicknames we'll see here this week.
One of the nicknames that makes you ask questions, at least. So that's kind of the hallmark of a good nickname. Corne with the cone-shaped monogram on the back of his shirt.
99.
Brian Raman known as the Riddler, or the Noodle, if you prefer, which Brian doesn't.
62.
Well rescued. It is a very quick format as well. First to 2 sets, so Brian has got to get his skates on. Not yet had a dart at double. He arrived quite late last night.
95.
But
Brian, you require 170.
He wants 170. He doesn't have to go for it with Corne back on 204.
90.
No, these two were both in the venue practicing very early. Corne was here when I arrived at about 4 o'clock. He then went back, got changed, had something to eat, but Brian's been here basically since 5 o'clock. So they're both ready for this game, but it's Brian that's been caught a bit cold unless he takes out this tops.
Which he does. One dart at double is all he needs, and Brian Raman is in this game. Playing first up and opening the show brings its own kind of pressures. You travel across from Europe and you don't want to be heading back when the tournament has barely started.
No, and the winner of this game will actually be back tomorrow night. So, but, you know, the tweak to the format this year, the tweak to the schedule, the winner of this game will be back tomorrow night to face England's Martin Turner, which, to be fair, will probably be a benefit regardless of who wins, because it is about that stage readiness, that stage experience, and if you've been on there the night before, you're going to be more fresh than the person whose last appearance was this time 12 months ago.
Yeah, these two are in that very top section of the draw with the 16 seed Martin Turner and consequently the number 1 seed Danny Porter.
96.
And we'll see Danny, who is wearing a very fetching Crocodile Dundee cosplay tonight with a lovely, you know, the hat with the corks on. He's got a giant inflatable crocodile as well, which certainly made me laugh when I saw him in the practice room earlier on tonight.
Yeah, just in case you don't know what nationality he is.
43.
Been a better set this for Brian. But that's a terrific setup shot from Cornet, meaning that Brian may need to take out this 167. Not going to get the early haymaker, but Raman gets down to double 14. Cornet better take this. It's a good guide for tops, and he uses it well.
Third leg, Brian to throw first. Game on.
Yeah, no sign of nervousness here from Cornet, so I do imagine he did learn. He did learn a lot from that game at Wesley Plaza in Budapest, where I saw him afterwards was visibly frustrated with the fact that his first sort of big tournament stage game hadn't gone the way he wanted, but put that behind him and won that qualifier the following day and looked the class of the field there, to be honest.
99.
There's no question that Cornet has made a lot of progress in very little time.
100.
I did actually meet Cornet at the Dutch Open when I was introduced by Marco Meyer to the team that they represent, and I asked the room who's the best player, and 5 hands in unison pointed towards Cornet. I didn't realise he was that good.
56.
But he's proving himself in the early stages here.
Yeah, at the World Masters in Budapest, I spoke to Marco and I said, who's the player you're watching out for this week?
32.
And he went, Cornet. He said to me, Cornet will win something this week, mark my words. I don't know whether it'll be the World Open, the World Masters or the qualifier. Cornet will win something. He's playing that well. And turned out semi at the World Masters and their Lakeside qualifier. So hat tip to Mr. Meyer. He knows his onions.
Yeah, we won't be saying that too many times this week, I don't think. It's one of those games where you almost don't want either player to lose because they're both really good to watch. They're both very nice, affable lads.
Yeah. And quick, entertaining players as well.
But they're no shrinking violets either. Both of them have spoken very confidently about their chances.
100.
Big advantage for Cornet in this leg, which means Brian Raman would have to serve out to win the second set or lose the match. That's how quickly things can go. Double 8 for Groeneveld.
119.
Not too far away from a 12 darter. 127 and not game.
43.
No damage though from Brian, so Cornet has time, which he might need.
Does he bust this?
I might.
4.
I mean, I might by accident on account of it being dreadful, but I was surprised he didn't try and come in there.
134.
There is a bit of pressure now on this double 2.
Taking a little bit of time.
Getting closer.
No score. Brian, you require 132.
Bull, double 16, that's the target. Oh, he's a long way off.
Yeah. back up the road in Camberley, I think that single 5.
Corner, you require 4.
Cornet's missed 6 darts to win this leg, but he doesn't miss 7. A magnificent 7, and now all the pressure is on Brian Raman to win this leg. Well, he's the first man eliminated from this year's tournament.
97.
We've got a great vantage point in the commentary position. We're on the balcony
60.
of Lakeside, if you've ever been before, and we can overlook the many hundreds of people that are here tonight. A great atmosphere that's being created.
57.
Absolutely, a very positive change for the championship this year, moving to start on a Friday night, spreading out these the men's tournament and bringing in some of the seeded players at the weekend. So, yeah, great crowd in tonight. I think it's 700 plus in the building this evening, and being treated to an entertaining opener here.
Corney currently averaging
60.
around the 90 mark. The man a bit further away on 84. Been a good solid opening from the Dutchman.
Yeah, he's looked very assured and continuing that progression that started with that Antwerp Open run back in August, and who knows where it'll end come the end of this championships. But he's got to get over the line first.
Corner, you require 107.
Well, this game could end in the next 3 darts. Treble 17 leaves double 18 for the match.
89. Brian, you require 65.
That's been a big scare for Brian Raman. He'd be best advised taking this one out.
In shot,
It is 1-all.
set. Brian Raman.
And will that play on Corney's mind? It's been exemplary on the doubles for Brian Raman. Just the scoring power hasn't been there. It's 3 from 3 now.
Yeah, and that was
96.
an uncharacteristically extended celebration there from Brian at the end of that set. Probably a response to surviving a match start, keeping this alive, and maybe some element of the fact that
60.
he hasn't been considered favourite for this match by the bookmakers, when he will always put himself as the favourite in any game he's in, but he's playing well himself, right? So he would have expected to be in that position, and he's not. And, you know, a Brian Raman with a point to prove and a chip on his shoulder is an even more dangerous Brian than we normally see.
Brian, one of 2 Belgians taking to the stage this evening, looking to repeat what Andy Bartons did last year. It was a stunning win for the beast from the east.
100.
Absolutely. And yeah, Francois Schweyen is in the 3rd game of the evening tonight. Outstanding player.
180. Corner, require 124.
Pressure on this 1-2-4. 14 or treble. Leaves the bullseye for Groeneveld.
77. Brian, you require 62.
Brian takes this. He becomes favourite for the match. Double 10.
Games on the
It's
first
found in
side.
the top corner.
Brian Raman. Second leg is Brian to throw first. Game on.
Scrunch up of the face and a shrug of the shoulders from Brian.
59.
Well, that's not a great start. Those 2 darts at treble 20 were wild.
60.
We should extend our best wishes today to referee
60.
Gary Roderick, celebrating his birthday.
Absolutely, and showed off his own darting talents earlier today. They had a test stream to make sure everything was working, and Gary fired an absolutely mustard maximum from the Welshman. So, yeah, very impressive stuff from the birthday boy.
100.
Garen's right arm definitely in working order. 180.
100.
He is beginning to find that scoring power, and we hear the phrase first start merchant a lot in darts these days. It really does apply to Brian.
60.
Can Corney find one of those massive combinations? Not this time. Could go for the bull.
60. Brian, you require 52.
Double 16. Brian Raman finds the target for a 5th dart in a row.
And you do wonder now how much he was 36 points away from a spot in the second round, and now he's staring down the barrel of, if he doesn't win this leg, his tournament's over. It's a fast-paced, cutthroat format for Cornet, but
43.
you know, he was flying, looking absolutely different league, and Brian has dug in, used his experience, and
42.
now looks like he's on the verge of a spot against Martin Turner tomorrow night.
Scoring from Cornet has dried up in this last set.
100.
He's not getting the 2 treble visits he was in that opening set, where he was getting down to a finish much faster than Brian, whereas Brian's up to 3 maximums now, and he just looks slightly more of a natural flow to his game again.
133.
Cornet could have gone looking for the bullseye then, because it would have left the finish.
I was going to say, a slightly curious decision to stay on the 19s then from Cornet.
58.
Now Brian might look for the bull.
90.
Good ball management. Maybe irrelevant. Can he squeeze that through? No, he can't.
68.
Outside chance then for Brian Raman to seal victory.
Some way to do it. Not to be, sadly.
120.
Well, that's different.
Yeah.
Has it put Groeneveld off? No, it hasn't. Well, that stopped the rot from Cornet. Brian having won the last 3.
87.
Slightly wayward final dart there from Brian, but this will be a confidence-boosting win for either man here, because you know you'll have played someone of a similar ability, you know you'll have been in a contest, and then you're going into that bigger format, that best of 5 sets tomorrow, you know, against somebody Martin Turner who's dogged, he's a scrapper, he's not going to give up without a fight. So this is going to put both men in good stead, whereas sometimes
98.
you play an early game that maybe isn't too competitive, it doesn't help, it ends up being more of a hindrance because you've not warmed to it properly.
100.
Good pick off of the treble 17. 2 trebles here, and Cornet's in charge of this leg.
100.
I'm going to be disappointed to only emerge with a ton.
90. Cornet, you require 161.
Well, this would be mega.
46.
Went looking for the ball, but you could see the shoulder as he released it.
108.
He makes you think, does Brian, doesn't he?
He's had a match start of his own now, Mr. Raman, and he'll get some more.
28.
A ragged visit from Groeneveld.
Brian, you require 28.
Well, that was Brian's first missed start at double, but he's left double 14, and he has killed off the debutant Cornet Groeneveld in rapid, quick time. A game which only lasted just around 25 minutes. Brian salutes the crowd. Cornet gives them applause as well. We always thought it was likely to be a tight and tense tussle between 2 players of a similar pace and similar ability, but it is Belgium that triumphs over the Netherlands. Brian Raman, a 2-1 winner against Cornet Groeneveld.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, what a match to kick off the 2024 Mission WDF Lakeside World Championship. Two fantastic players. We will see Brian Raman back on the stage, and I am sure Cornet will be back at the Lakeside again. Far too good not to be. We are going live with our second match of the evening at 8 o'clock, so that is about 17 minutes from now. We will be back on with the second of our matches as Scott Walters takes on Craig Brown. Now remember, ladies and gentlemen, we do have the Quiff Zone over in Bob's Bar. Head over there, spend £10, get £30 free to bet. For the first time, the walk-on was okay. That was all right. But you have to work on it. You have to be a little bit better. So, for the second match, when you see me standing here and I do this, that means we want you up, we want you on your feet, we want you ready to welcome the players onto stage. If you get yourselves down to the front, please do. If not, stand at your tables, not on the tables, just at the tables. Get your hands up, sing along with the walk-ons, and give the players a magnificent welcome to the Lakeside stage. 15 minutes or so until our next match. Scott Walters and Craig Brown. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we now come to the second match of the evening, and we welcome our second match referee at his 11th Lakeside World Championship, the man from the Netherlands, Marco Meijer. Ladies and gentlemen, we continue with round one of the men's competition here at the 2024 Mission WDF Lakeside World Championship. And we welcome to the stage a former Auckland Open, New Zealand Masters and Taranaki Open semi-finalist, the former North Island Masters finalist from New Zealand, the expat, Craig Brown. Semi-finalist in no less than 7 world ranking tournaments. The reigning Tallinn Open champion from England, the game, Scott Walters!
So hot on the heels of Brian Raman making it through to round 2 with a comeback victory against Dutchman Corné Groeneveld. We have 2 more World Championship debutants in the form of Scott Walters of England and Craig Brown of New Zealand. For Walters, his philosophy to the sport seems to be, have darts, will travel. He's one of the most nomadic players on the WDF circuit. Look at the countries that he's played in recently. Ireland, Malta, Latvia, Hungary, Italy, Sweden, the list goes on. And the 2 countries where he did win his WDF titles, Serbia and Estonia. He is more than happy at doing some globe-trotting in order to make a name for himself in this sport. His opponent is the man in your picture, Craig Brown of New Zealand, nicknamed the Expat, and you can see the Union Jack on one sleeve and the Kiwi on the other, so his story seems to be quite self-explanatory. Scott Walters does arrive into this game as favourite, with Craig Brown not really playing too much outside of his homeland. Delighted to say that Raymond Smith, the guru, has joined me in the commentary box for this one. You've actually played Scott before on the Motor Super Series stage.
First set, first leg, it's Scott to throw first. Game on.
Yeah, Scott can do a lot. He's a prolific scorer, and I remember at times just sitting back thinking, yeah, if I don't throw a 180, I'm behind. But I did notice with Scott, and the same with Craig, from observing Craig around the Trans-Tasman region. Yeah, a lot of it depends on the first start. If that first start goes, then yeah, 55. They can get onto a run.
Yeah, no one has travelled from further afield in the men's tournament than Craig Brown.
60.
Has a running average from the results that we've got on our database of around 73.5. So you don't need to be a darts expert to realise he's going to have to significantly
41.
raise his game against Scott Walters. But in many respects, there's no real pressure on Craig because he comes here as second favourite. He's a debutant. No one's really expecting him to have a run. 41. So he can try and just freely play darts.
Yeah, absolutely. And a lot of the games in the Trans-Tasman regions, we don't play on stages, so it's an opportunity. It might take a little while to work in, but if you get that opportunity on stage, it can give you an extra leg. It lifts you. You feel a little bit more energized, more focused.
42.
It's a long-awaited debut for Scott Walters. He came very close to qualifying a couple of years ago, losing his final round match.
60.
But he is plugging away on the WDF circuit. It will be a much different game to what we saw first up from Raman and Groeneveld, two of the speedier throwers. This one will be played at a more methodical pace.
78.
Yeah, especially early doors when they're just trying to field. They're both debutants. They want to get into a groove and find out where they are. They're setting up for the long haul.
100.
Especially in the New Zealand space, a lot of it's all straight 9, best of 9. So you're pretty much a sprinter turning up to a marathon. So
43.
yeah, he'll have a little bit of time to work himself in, and hopefully he'll take his time to get into it.
Yeah, even first to 2 sets is a long format for someone like Craig,
80.
who only plays those short leg matches.
And set play is a little bit different as well, because again, you go 3-0 up to win the set, and then you change who throws first, so you're going out of sequence. If you're not used to it, it can throw you out. I mean, my first time, it threw me off.
Double top then for a 119 checkout.
Scott Unicorn 136.
And a slow start from both players. And Scott's not going to take out 136. Single 19 would leave tops.
96. Greg Unicorn 40.
In Scott's shoes, I'd be looking to put one dart high. He's throwing low a fair bit.
Maybe not that high. All that low.
20. Scott Unicorn 40.
Early nerves, which are completely understandable.
That's been shown in the first leg.
25 darter to kick things off for Scott Walters. But a 25 darter is just as valuable as a 9 darter. That's what they've got to tell themselves.
At the end of the day, they look at the scoreboard, not the averages. That's nice.
140.
I'd like to see one go high here and then build a shot down. Chasing the treble now.
Yeah, the weight was perfect for those 3 darts, but they were just all a bit offline.
55.
It's a good set. He's got 2 above high there, so you set your next up. So that's a good dart there. You can feed in on that one. Perfect.
95.
A little bit of the frustration of the first leg feeding in.
Yeah, it's so important as a player that you learn how your darts behave in the board. So for players like Scott and Craig, whose darts stand up a little bit, you have to be aiming for the top wire almost.
Yeah, as I said before, you've got to look for the long ball as well. So in the first leg, Craig's first dart's falling. Scott's first dart's falling low. You want to get it up, so sacrifice the dart and build a shot. So like that dart there is a good one to feed in on. You start building that as your first dart, your 140s will come into play, your tons will come into play.
First 180 perhaps.
140. Quick recoil, 161.
Been a better leg from both players.
58. Scott's recoil, 136.
Well, he had a poke at this in the first leg, and he's not going to take it out. That's a pretty wild one.
44. Quick recoil, 103.
60.
27. Scott's recoil,
Just get the feeling they're both
92.
trying to chase the treble. They want to put the big show on.
Treble 17. Great recovery. That leaves tops.
52. Quick recoil, 76.
Nice dart. Nice and straight.
Well, he's got to go searching 25 and bull.
Oh, he skipped the bull route. 51-24.
36. Scott's recoil, 40.
You'd have got 25 and bull in that position.
Absolutely, you have to. You've got to play the percentages.
And it's been sold in the second round. Scott Walker.
Well, Craig didn't, and he's been duly punished. Two tops finishers in a row for Scott Walters.
Third target, Scott to throw first.
Not playing anywhere near his true ability. We've seen him quite recently throw some really good averages. 102.29 in the World Masters against Darryl Lowry.
140.
He's starting to find that first dart though, so I think he's going to set up.
Reached the quarterfinals of the Gold Irish Open earlier this month to Scott Walters, losing out to the eventual champion Marco Cancela, who, by winning that, has secured his spot at Lakeside for next year. So early planning for the Finn.
40.
I'd like to see Craig take a step back and just have a look at his line, get that first dart right. Scott's doing much the same. It looks like, again, trying to fight to put on the big numbers. If you're 2-0 up, you can take a step back, relax, try and find your line, find your groove.
140.
If you get your line right, this is with darts, especially at this level, it's not about what you hit that counts, it's what you miss. If you're hitting 1s and 5s, then they can throw three straight darts, 3 straight 20s, and they're getting in front, they're building the leg in. But not only are you hitting the 1 and 5, you've got to come back now and hit 2 trebles in the next wall, which putting yourself under that little bit more pressure. If you throw high with the first dart, 1, you're telling yourself that, I'm okay. 2, you're building that shot, that next shot. So when you're building your game, you're confident enough to throw 1 high. You don't put yourself under as much pressure. But at the moment, it just seems they're trying to search for the big shot. They want to go out in the 12 and 15 darters. As we saw in the first leg, a 25 dart leg. They got you over the line in the first part.
70.
That's a good dart. It's a great one to feed.
I think he fancied it.
Yeah.
66. Craig through the corner, 76.
Don't hit the single 1, Craig. Oh, that's lovely. Double 8. Can he just move inside?
60. Scott Unicorn, 104.
Make sure of the first dart. Whether you're going 18s or 60s, or 8s or 16s. That's nice. Up the tops.
84.
Would have fancied him after the tops in the first 2
Craig
weeks.
Unicorn, 16.
Well, this had built some confidence in Craig Brown. He's not far away, and again, is that awkward?
No score. Scott Unicorn, 20.
Chances missed for Craig Brown, several of them. Scott Walters steps in.
The first set. Scott Walters.
A first set that could have gone a completely different way, but Craig Brown missing 9 darts and a double.
First leg, it's Craig to throw first.
Craig's going to be chasing now, so got to get that first dart right, and he has.
85.
So going back to what I said before, it's not about what you hit, it's what you miss. A straight ton now, you're in the box seat.
27.
But now a big miss. And not only that, you put your second number on the wrong side of the 5, you're going to have to look at least a 2 triple walk.
100.
Yeah, there have been some very ragged darts from Scott Walters.
It just seems like he's, I don't know if he's more focused on playing for the crowd or just getting into a groove. It's not the game I've seen Scott play.
99.
No, we know he's much better than this. He's one set up, but it's a mid-60s average, so has to improve if he wants to advance further in this tournament. The winner, incidentally,
85.
will play the number 12 seed Cliff Pryor. Now, interestingly, he and Scott Walters were roommates at the World Masters. They're really good friends. So
26.
it could come to the point where 2 friends play each other, and you're saying to me off air that it's quite difficult to do that.
Yeah, it's difficult, especially at something like Lakeside. This is where you want to try and stamp yourself as a true dart player in every sense of the word. And then you're playing your best mate. This is something that you've worked all season for together, and now the opportunity comes to show your wares, and you've got to draw each other in the first round proper. It's very difficult.
95. Correct unit go out with 131.
Craig's got time here.
55.
We usually look at darts my darts from a cricket perspective. As a bowler, I want to see maidens. By maidens, I mean I don't want to see 1s or 5s. I want to see 20, 20, 20.
64.
So I want to see the dot balls.
76.
So when I'm preparing for for these games, for argument's sake, I'm trying to get rid of those misses. Topsfield, great.
Let's keep short on the first line. Craig Brown. Second line, Scott the throw first.
And there's Craig Brown's first leg on a World Championship stage. He won't walk away completely empty-handed.
95.
Not at all. I mean, for as I said, with the Trans-Tasman, we don't play much on stage, so the experience is invaluable. Not only that, we don't play in front of crowds the size of this tonight, so there's a little bit of a feeling out process. Take on a lot of experience. But if you look at the way he moves around the stage, he's seeming confident, he's seeming in control.
140.
Scott's first start's missing a fair bit at the moment. He's picking up the 19s very well though.
119.
Yeah, at least that gives him a plan B. If treble 20 is off, and it has been for the majority of the game, he knows he's got the option to switch downstairs, and it's reaped the rewards already.
Yeah, but we're going back to the dot ball scenario. If I go 20, 20, 20, tons, 140s, I know where I am in the game. I'm always going to have that one at the end. I'm looking to come down at 161, 121, 141, 101. I'm in control of the game, so if I'm effectively putting dot ball after dot ball up on the board and not missing that 20, I don't have to move a great deal. If I start to get into a little burst, I don't have to worry about coming for 19s. I'm scoring heavy on the triple 20. Is one of my strengths is my 140 count. Because I could throw out 140s a lot more, I didn't have to split for a 19 or come down for a 17 and risk leaving myself a bogey number.
60. Scott's unicorn 116.
Good guy for treble 19.
Yeah, and if he's hitting 19s, it's a stronger way to go.
And that one was just the wrong side of the wire. Means Craig will come back and have an outside chance to double his lead in this second set.
35. Craig unicorn 154.
It's a big miss on a 154. It's a good recovery.
70. Scott's require 81.
Looks like he's going for the 50. No, he went for the 19s. And he's missed the big number. Tried to be greedy, 41. Tried to go after the treble.
Correct require 84.
You've got to make sure of the small numbers.
Double 12.
78. Scott to require 40.
Got to get that first.
And it's been shown in the second round. Scott Walton.
It's all happening for him on tops and tens.
It's a good start. Nice and solid. If you can come down in tons at the moment, you'll be laughing.
You've almost got to plan your leg from the 501. So make sure you keep straight. You see quite a few players switching to the 17 so they can leave a 0 at the end of their score.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's a smarter shot. I know a lot of people like the 19 route, but if it leaves you with 2. So if you come down ton, you're going to have to move to the 18s on your first start. And going back to what I said about the dot balls before, you want to be throwing at triple 20 as much as you can, because that's what you practice. You throw at the 17, then you've got the 64, the 164, 94s. So you only have to move on the last dart. You don't have to move the first dart or the second dart.
45.
We're not dropping 3 darts straight. It's you're going to have to move quite a bit.
55.
You note the Scott's darts at the moment. He's finding his range well, just not the line.
43.
However, he's not being put under any significant pressure.
Yeah, and that's again, it's not about what you hit, it's what you miss. 20-20-20 builds passive pressure. You've got to hit a triple 20 behind it, or hit a decent treble behind it to keep in front. Otherwise, you're just going to keep putting that passive pressure on you. You start to find the triples, that's more pressure on top of that. But more so, you're not looking at what's scored, you're looking at what's left. And if they're within a 3-dart shot, you know, it's a ton, for argument's sake, you're on 221, and you go 20-20, you hit a 60, like you're at 121, you hit a 20, you're on 161. So if you're on 230s behind that, you know you've got to hit a ton. So again, passive pressure works.
Single 18 will set tops up.
Scott's required 137.
Come up for 18.
57. Craig Kirikar 40.
Very short.
20. Scott Kirikar 80.
More missed chances. Oh, he's going 2 tops. Why not?
Absolutely.
Why not, Scott?
Scott Walton.
When your back's to the wall, you've got to go to where your strengths are. If you're hitting tops, absolutely, tops is a great way to go.
Scott to throw first.
Well, to say he's only 1 leg away from winning, he doesn't look a happy boy. Because there have been too many darts like that and that.
63.
Feed that first one.
60.
Unlucky. If we were to use another cricket analogy, if you had a look at his pitch map, it's probably the reason why he's not happy. As you said, he's going wide on that first start on the start of the leg. But when you're not putting shots together, that's where the frustration creeps in. So yeah, it's one of those points you're asking yourself, what more do I need to do? What can I do? It's not working at the moment. So this is where the sacrifice is going to have to come in. But as you said, he's not under pressure at the moment. So if you're not under pressure, you can take your time. But you're at that point when you're playing in front of the crowd at Lakeside and on TV. you just want to get through and you want to burst that big game out. And you're thinking, it's there, I know it's there. You're trying to force it out. It's, yeah, playing darts at this level and at the elite level, it's not about being the best you possibly can be leg on leg. It's taking a step back at times and trying to rebuild.
Yeah, this game is a typical grind, and if Scott Walters is to come through it, I'll just say, I got the job done. We move on to the next game.
I thought he would have looked over to the 18s there.
Wow.
24.
A frustrated dart there.
Break you require 156.
Brown for 156 then. That's a great guide.
100.
When you are dragging darts, particularly to the left and low, as Scott's doing, I mean, what's the technical fault with that, you think?
A lot of it comes down to tension. You're holding a little bit too much tension in the fingers, so when you bring in your hand back, it multiplies. So when you get that little bit too tense at the release point, your fingers just aren't pushing through. Tops is nice to him this time around.
Yeah, 7 legs have been won in this game, and 5 of them have been, 6 of them, I should say, have been won on tops. The other one on double 10, so
this is a leg you just want to start straight, bring it down in nice easy tongues. Very good. Scott's an opening now.
45.
But does Scott have the courage? This is where you'd like to see him just have that courage to throw the first dart high, build the shot down. He's on line now. Keep that line. Lovely.
Scott Walters hits a maximum at Lakeside for the first time in his career.
60.
Solid shot behind him. Where you take a big deep breath. Just keep that straight game going. Had all the room in the world to stay at it. I would have stayed there. That's a great set. Keeps the pressure on, let him know I'm still there. Yeah, you see,
26.
a little bit tight there. He's bouncing after the first dart.
Overcompensating almost for the wide dart.
Yeah, it's
95.
It's an oddity because it's not technically an issue. It's a mental issue. He's looking at it. He's focused on the target, but there's something in there. He's probably not breathing properly, or he's overthinking it. He's probably thinking of 3 different ways to go, and he's not set on a particular route. This is where you just want to draw a big deep breath. Focus. Nice and straight the first one.
Curse of the commentator.
Yeah. Should probably be a bit quieter on it. So with the big out shots, you've got to look at getting the first dart as close as you can. If you look at the statistics, you don't hit every big shot you go for. So you just want to try and get close, and if it's your time, it's your time.
55. Scott, you require 40.
So for a passage into round 2, you would have expected Walters to hit tops. But double 5 comes to his rescue.
Scott Walters.
And Scott Walters, on his World Championship debut, does make it through to round 2. It was a performance that he'll quickly want to forget. A 68 average from Walters. But as the old saying goes, they don't put averages on trophies. Craig Brown's first World Championship ends in real disappointment. Scott Walters knows he's going to have to raise his game. The game is through to round 2, where he'll face Cliff Pryor.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, match number 3 a couple of minutes away. Our third match, our third referee. Please welcome to the stage from Denmark, Christian Sorensen. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, on your feet. Give the players all the support you can. We're going live in 1 minute. Everyone up, let's have you. Ladies and gentlemen, we come to match number 3 here on evening 1 of the 2024 Mission WDF Lakeside World Championship. And we welcome to the stage a man from Australia, a Victorian Easter Classic and Canterbury Open finalist, the reigning Victoria Classic champion, Michael Cassar! His opponent is a former Latvian Open and Belgian Open champion from Belgium, the clock, Schweyen!
So we've already seen success from one Belgian this evening, Brian Raman, winning the first match of this year's Lakeside against Groeneveld. Scott Walters overcame New Zealand's Craig Brown in a scrappy affair to take that one 2-0. It is Belgium against Australia for match 3. Francois Schweyen has had a solid year on the WDF circuit. Perennial quarter-finalist. His 2 titles in this system came last year, the Belgium Open champion, as well as winning in Latvia. Michael Cassar has had the best year of his career because he is now a WDF title winner, winning the Victorian Classic, beating along the way the #1 seed Danny Porter. You know an awful lot about him, Raymond. How is he going to cope with the Lakeside stage, do you think?
I think he'll be fine. He comes from a good pedigree. His mum's played for Australia. He's played for Australia twice. And at the World Cup last year, he was sensational. He was the guy that you could bank on. So, yeah, in my mind, he's the next poster boy for Australian darts. And, yeah, I'm hoping he goes really, really well here.
Yeah, this one is a pretty tough game to call, a little bit like the first one of the evening. It is Michael who won the bullseye in the back room. A fairly late call up to Lakeside, replacing Connor Scott, who opted to go and play at Alexandra Palace. Francois Schweyen comfortably in the rankings to qualify for Lakeside. Nicknamed the Clock. I think it's time for a new nickname.
That's an interesting choice.
60.
Solid openers from both players. That's a good dart for Cassar.
140.
Both of them operate at a fairly similar pace. Not slow players, but not rapid either. I mean, when you were playing, did it suit you
81.
more to play someone who threw at the same speed as you?
Very early on in my career, I couldn't handle slow players. Fast players, you have a tendency to speed up. But
100.
As experience come along, I just sat at my own pace and my own rhythm, and slow players or fast players didn't bother me in the end. But Cassar's putting together a lovely opening leg here.
55.
Back to talking about those dot balls before.
161.
Ton, 141 ton. This is where you want to be after 9 darts. Might want to look at the ball. No, stayed at
60.
Thought he might have opted for the ball to come down for a 96 2-dart finish rather than splitting a 3-dart.
Comfortable enough in this opening leg against Francois. Can't get down to a finish from 305. So, Michael Cassar, this has been a pretty confident start.
Yeah, nice and solid. Hitting his big numbers.
77.
Commentator's curse again.
Well, we can forgive him that miss because Francois is back on 179. Decided to go for the bull to then try and go back down for treble 19.
87.
That would have left tops.
Michael, you require 24.
Double 12 then for Cassar.
That's a good dart.
Games on the first leg.
Certainly is a very good start.
Second leg of Francois.
From a very good dart for Michael Cassar.
Like a nice little fist pump there. He's aggressive. He's keen on it.
81.
And he's got a shot to attack.
One of 6 Australians in the men's field for Lakeside. Very well represented in the WDF because there's a really good system down under of tournaments.
There's a lot of tournaments. Good system's probably a bit of a stretch, but there's a lot of tournaments. But fortunately, we get the prize money in them to get the tournament points out of them, or the ranking points out of them.
It's a
good pickup. I like to see Cassar get back to his strengths of the first leg, which is the straight darts.
99.
It would be certainly interesting if Cassar was to win because Danny Porter awaits the winner of this. It's right at the top of the draw.
And as you said in the intro,
100.
Cassar beat Porter at the Victorian Open, so there's a recent history between the two.
43.
No, Cassar come over early to get a little bit of practice in. This is a difficult shot because you've got to get around it here to give yourself a shot at the bull. You've got to come down for the bull now to leave the finish.
105.
Great second dart.
Francois, you require 157.
It's a surgical second dart, but it might count for nothing. Double top.
137. Michael, you require 170.
Fancy that one.
132. Francois, you require 20.
Neither player far off landing a massive combination shot. Double 5 for Francois.
Should be able to low him in on that one.
15. Michael, you require 38.
And does he split it? He'll go for it. A little bit of aggressive body language there. Make the smart way. Good dart.
Games in the second leg. Michael Cassar.
Yeah, very nicely done. When you do opt to split it, you are giving away a potential dart at double. But in that position, would you have done the same?
It all depends on where I am in the game. So Francois missed there and he split the 5, so it makes a lot of sense. But at the same time, you don't want to tell yourself you can't hit something this early in the game. So
39.
if you make the decision to go for the 6, you've got to be very strong in your conviction that you're going to hit the 32. Otherwise, it'll be an opportunity missed.
100.
If you miss that opportunity, you probably sit back and think, oh, I should have gone for the 38, and then you're going to bring in doubt. Ask yourself a few questions instead of focusing on the game.
180.
Francois doesn't seem deterred at all.
100.
He's playing a nice solid game.
There's absolutely no indication that Michael Cassar is overawed by the occasion.
No, as I said, he comes from a good pedigree. As the game's got bigger at the World Cup, he just got better.
140. Michael, you require 142.
As well as Cassar's playing, Francois seems to be on his heels every shot, every leg.
60. Francois, you require 161.
Ball.
59.
All right.
Michael, you require 82.
Single 17. Oh, he now needs double 3.
76.
Very much an unhappy accident.
Francois, you require
Double 3 always
102.
tricky.
Only 18 out, 60 for 24. And the 16s. Oh, he stayed.
98.
Now that's
Michael,
interesting.
requires
You
6.
don't want to split the 2, but Cassar doesn't want to split the 3.
Baffling choice from Francois.
No score.
Cassar
Francois,
wanted
you
the
require
single
4.
one, he didn't get it. Francois, you left double 2, you
James
hit it,
on the
and hit it he does.
Francois Schweyen.
As we were saying, the first
Fourth leg is
falter from
Francois
Cassar
to
there,
throw
and Francois
first.
was right on his
Game
heels.
on. '87.
Nice little steady.
60.
It's looking a little bit warm on stage at the moment. We're sweating a bit.
140.
Yeah, it's that sort of classic tight environment here at Lakeside where when the body count rises, so does the temperature.
81.
As that leg count rises, the temperature rises even more. Francois is just playing really steady at the moment. This is fantastic balance.
140.
Cassar's doing the right thing now. He's just settling back into a rhythm.
100. Francois, you require 134.
Putting the leg down. Sit in the pocket and wait for a shot if it comes, but if not, set yourself up for the next leg.
94.
Quite a tentative go at 2 tops there with Cassar back on 260. Didn't need to really take any big risks.
I wonder if he's worried about splitting the 10 again, as he did with the
60.
first leg.
Francois, you require 40.
That's the second leg.
He's doing it again. Is he going to go and bust?
He's going to look at the score. Good.
No score.
So may have been thinking about that double 5. Why he went for top stops. That's a good
100.
shot. So if he's thinking
Francois, you
about it
require
now,
40.
he's got to hit the 40. That's a good one.
Games on the 4th leg. Francois Schweyen. 5th leg, it's Michael to throw first. Game
This is
on.
the type of dance that will turn a concern into a strength. So you won't be thinking about the 5 next time. You'll be thinking of dead centre tops.
43.
He's left an opening here. Francois has been throwing nice and straight. Commentators curse again.
55.
That's 3 in the first 2 games.
Yeah.
That'll continue to rise. Will the 180 count?
140.
Good bounce away.
100.
Cassar just needs to come down in tons. He's got the advantage in this leg. Even a 140 next will leave him on a very difficult shot where he's got where Francois has got to move.
140.
Even a max there wouldn't have left the finish.
Yeah, so the shot's coming back here, so Cassar just needs a nice little ton.
60.
Because Francois has got to move here, so he can't go for the 180. So he's going to leave himself at the 66, or 86 here.
138.
Decent setup visit from Francois. All Michael can do is try and apply pressure.
98.
This has been a really good response from the Belgian.
68.
2 legs down in the opening set. He now leaves double top.
28.
So
Michael
those shots that
require
Cassar has to
100.
take. That's a good start.
Double 15.
70. Francois, you require 40.
Well, that dart at double 5 may have just thrown him off his stride.
Games
Plump
on the
tops
first
for
set.
Francois Schweyen.
Francois Schweyen.
And it's a very good comeback after a ropey start.
Yeah, and Francois just threw nice and straight, so he's just building that pressure on leg, shot on shot, should I say.
Second
So
set,
where
first
Michael
leg,
Cassar jumped
Francois to
nice
throw
and early,
first.
you open with a
Game
43 or a 45, and then Francois behind him with a ton or an 85, but staying ton. It's just going to build pressure. So now you start to think about it a bit
60.
more. You miss with the first dart, you chase with the second dart. You don't want to chase with the second dart. When in the first 2 legs, Cassar was throwing beautiful darts, nice and rhythmic.
81.
As you saw there, just chased it with the last dart, got back into a rhythm, picked it up with the third. But instead of chasing, just play in that rhythm, stay in that groove. Back your process.
60. 60.
That's solid. Stay there from both guys.
It's a lovely action that Cassar has got. It's a very straight follow through. Lots of power in the elbow.
That's a great shot.
174.
Yeah, but it's nice. It's not overworked. He doesn't try and throw the dart very hard. It's just that arm speed, that natural arm speed.
97.
Francois starting to play some really good stuff now. And his form has been good. He was a quarter-finalist in the World Open. That was a gold tournament won by Rhys Colley, who we're going to see against Darren Johnson in this tournament.
99. Francois, you require 70.
Another 15. And tops.
Games at the first leg. Francois
Hit the
Schweyen.
centre of the bed on that tops. He's going to
Second leg,
be
it's Michael to throw first. Game on.
going to be looking fairly confident from that point. As we said, we're breaking the games down now to leave 161s and 121s. So tops is going to play pretty heavily in those kinds of finishes.
Well, that's 3 legs in a row that he's won on tops, and all of them dead centre. It's not like they're just sneaking in the corners.
And his first start at the moment's been beautiful.
85.
Francois does have more stage experience than Michael. He's played on the European Tour in the PDC 3 times as a
100.
host nation qualifier for the Belgian events. Not managed to win yet, but he's not disgraced himself either. Some pretty decent performances.
95.
Nice pickup. we'll have a look at where we are. So Cassar's 20 odd behind at the moment, but 20 points in the grand scheme of things. So if you go down in tons, it's 121 versus 141.
96.
His first start's called him there, but he's picked it up. Solid set. So Francois can attack with tons, so can Cassar. He's going to need the 180 now if Francois hits a ton.
Francois first to a finish, but Michael will back himself to get to a kind of one.
Another one of those.
100. Francois, you require 161.
Treble 18 leaves the bullseye.
136.
Well, they've both been teasing us with potentially big finishes.
Last time Francois had a shot at the 160 or 157. Cassar came out with a shot at the 170. So he's on.
88. Francois, you require 25.
One for double 12. That's the chosen route. And it pays off. It's another dart that is plugged dead centre in the double.
Third lane is Francois to throw first. Game on.
Cassar's in a bit of worry here. He's got to win 3 on the spin. And Francois is playing steady, straight darts, so Cassar's going to have to put on a big scoring spree.
100.
He's capable, absolutely capable.
It's not just win 3 in a row, though. It's win 3 with break, hold, then break. If it was the other way around,
60.
It's more manageable.
Looks like Francois got his blinders on, tasting the finish line. Step back and reset. It's a good move. That's 81. Keeps him in the front runner. Triples are deserted Cassar at the moment.
55.
It'd be hard to stay patient in these moments. You can't see where you're going to find your next treble from, let alone a win. You're just hoping that Francois gets blinded by the finish line.
Yeah, so often it's the toughest double to hit, the one to win a match. Michael made a pretty quick start, but it's unravelled for him.
$78. Francois, you require 140.
Make hard work from here. 132 left. Do you go for the bull, or do you just go for the score? Go for
68.
Good pickup.
Yeah, rescued the visit. Leaves a very manageable 72. Cassar needs one treble, but really needed 2 to apply pressure.
60.
Doesn't get any. So Francois has got all the time in the world to seal what's ultimately been a comfortable victory. Double 12. Misses inside. Across for double 6.
66.
2 match darts are gone.
Yeah, it's an interesting scenario for Cassar now. Put a big score on the board and put the pressure on to see if he can split that 6. That's a good shot.
140.
Cassar's done his job now.
Down for double 3.
That's the split. He's top shooting though.
And his madhouse shooting, not too bad either. Francois Schweyen ensures double delight for the Belgians on day one of Lakeside. Michael Cassar started strongly, winning the first 2 legs, but from there on it was 6 in a row from Francois. Some of the double shooting was excellent from the Belgian. Michael Cassar departs from his debut disappointed. Francois will face another Australian in round 2. The number 1 seed, Danny Porter, awaits him.
Ladies and gentlemen, we conclude our first session here at the 2024 Mission WDF Lakeside World Championships with our fourth first round men's match. And we welcome to the stage, first of all, a former four-time winner on the CDC Tour, the reigning Las Vegas Open champion from Canada, The Truth, Jacob Taylor. His opponent is the former Polish Open champion, the reigning Isle of Man Masters and British Open champion from England, Carl Wilkinson.
Carl Wilkinson there, quickly remembering that you need 3 arrows to play a good game of darts. This could be one of the standout ties of round one to end the first evening's action here at Lakeside. Wilkinson or Taylor looking to follow in the footsteps of Raman, Walters and Schweyen in booking their passage into round two. A tough game to call this because both have had very good years. Carl Wilkinson, rock solid, reigning British Open and Isle of Man Open champion. He tends to get far in tournaments. He's a perennial quarter-finalist and semi-finalist as well. One of the more dangerous unseeded players in the tournament. But as for Jacob Taylor, the man who's come over from Canada, this has been 11 months in the waiting. He won the Las Vegas Open against a former Lakeside finalist in Jeff Smith. It was a tight and tense last leg affair. But Jacob Taylor has had a long time to prepare for his Lakeside bout.
First set, first leg,
debutants.
Jacob through
We have got Taylor from
on.
Flowers Cove in Newfoundland, Canada, against Wilkinson from Barnsley in South Yorkshire. Andrew Sinclair alongside me. Andrew, which of those 2 destinations would be your preferred for a holiday?
Oh, well, I'm actually going to Canada next year for a wedding, so I might have to ask Mr. Taylor for some travel tips. But I have to admit, in the preparation for this game, I did look at Mr. Wilkinson's Wikipedia page, and it would appear that some of his fellow Yorkshiremen have been having a little bit of fun with it. Not the sword, as you'll see on the back of his shirt. He's now nicknamed the Sword Swallower, apparently. And he's apparently only the 2nd best player in Barnsley after Tony Molyneux. So, want to ask him about after the game, I imagine.
Yeah, I think we need to verify that information first. There's no question that Carl Wilkinson is one of the most dangerous players in this Lakeside field.
121.
A player who you quietly fancy for a good run, Andrew.
Absolutely. I think Carl is very, very solid, and as you say, he rarely goes to a tournament and doesn't go deep into it. He was at the Czech Open just this past weekend, got to the last 8, lost to Michel van der Horst from the Netherlands, very capable player. So
81.
Carl's in great form, played very well to win both the Isle of Man Open and the British Open this year. So he's not a draw that anyone will have wanted. But to be fair, you can say the same about Jake Taylor as well, given his pedigree and experience on the CDC side of things and at Vegas earlier this year.
He's made the better start. Couldn't find the treble 17 to lead double 16, but it's a very good setup shot nonetheless from the man nicknamed The Truth.
42.
Wilkinson applies no pressure. So double 18 then. Jacob Taylor for a solid opening.
No score.
Well, that second dart played down and probably blocked quite a big portion of that double 18 bed.
Not the first start there that Carl would have been hoping for, though.
49. Jacob required 36. And that's game short of the first line.
Game shot for Jacob Taylor. Draws first blood against Carl Wilkinson.
Carl was very close to qualifying for Lakeside a number of years ago, back in 2019. He just missed out, but that year he done really well in Italy, the Czech Republic. He obviously won the Polish Open in 2018 in that qualification period. Just missed out, and that was when he then won his PDC Tour card. But really started playing the WDF events again 2022, 2023 and this year, and yeah, just dominated the UK and Ireland circuit, winning those titles. Bridlington, the Isle of Man, but also he got to the Welsh Classic final this year and actually lost to Cliff Pryor, who we'll be seeing later in the tournament. So
100.
He's always there or thereabouts, whereas Jake we see a lot less of on the WDF circuit because haven't been as many big events in Canada, particularly 81. Outside his native Newfoundland.
Yeah, most of Jake Taylor's darts have been in the PDC on the Continental Darts system, the affiliate North American Tour for the PDC. Carl Wilkinson, you mentioned he won his tour card in 2019 as he looked for his first 177, not first 180. And he probably won his tour card at the wrong time because the second year was destroyed really by
57.
COVID, and there were no European Tour events, or very few of them at least. PDC Players' Championships were played in clusters, so probably not the right time to get his card.
37.
Yeah, and I think Carl would probably be open that took the sting out of his game a little bit, and I mean, he did that for so many players, but
83.
he was really on the up and up, and
80.
you lost that momentum because you were playing the at-home events, or you know those bubble pro tours, which weren't for everyone.
70. Jacob Unicorn 145.
Double 10 and double 5, not for Carl Wilkinson on that occasion. Taylor's not going to hit a 145.
125.
Made a fair old dent in it though. If Carl can't take out this double 5.
Now for double 2.
It's
there for Carl Wilkinson.
Carl Wilkinson.
Not spectacular, but both players matching each other stride for stride pretty much.
Yeah, it was interesting when Jake won that Las Vegas Open final earlier this year. Beat Jeff Smith in that last leg decider, as you said, and then he spoke to Will Stewart and the team at USA Darts, who do a fantastic job live streaming and broadcasting a lot of North American tournaments.
100.
And Jake spoke to Will and he said, this is the dream come true. I'm just a guy from Newfoundland who you don't get that exposure to top level players.
140.
And now I'm going to get that chance to go to the UK and have the chance to try and prove that I am good enough to compete. And, you know, he's not only good enough to compete.
140.
I think Jake's got a real chance of going far in this tournament. It's the same for both men, right? Whoever wins this will have that confidence, just like we spoke about with Brian Raman earlier, to go on a deep run in this competition.
Yeah, both players more than capable. A little bit like the Brian Raman, Corné Groeneveld draw. it's not really a draw that either player wanted, and in some respects it's a draw that a lot of others did, because one strong player is going to be eliminated.
Exactly. And I mean, Jake has been over here to play darts before. It's not as though this is his first venture. I very vividly remember him playing at the Moda Super Series. I think he was the losing opponent when Luke Littler won it for the first time. So, ooh, double seven. Saw Scott Walters hit one of these by accident earlier.
115. Call Unicorn 118.
Wasn't far off landing the first tumpless checkout of the tournament. Well, Carl Wilkinson had to stay straight, and he's ventured off in each direction.
Jacob Unicorn 7.
Double two. Never easy, these small numbered checkouts.
Yeah,
Jacob Taylor has landed it.
Four-legged called through first.
In many respects, low checkouts like that, it's the single number that's the most difficult dart.
Yeah, I mean, when you're as bad as me, I would suggest all the numbers are the challenging part, but absolutely. You have to hit the big number to give yourself a chance to take it out. So, yeah.
41.
He got the job done there, Mr. Taylor.
Bad players don't qualify for the World Masters, mate.
Well, yes. I think
qualify in quotation marks,
yes,
maybe.
I think that was more a kind gesture, care in the community. But no, I think both of these guys will. I'm not saying they'll be disappointed with their start so far, but standard-wise, they're both capable of a lot more. And it's just been that one loose dart in each visit from both guys, where if they just straighten up a little bit,
100.
I think they'll both start impressing it and reaching the levels they're more than capable of.
Both players are capable of a ton-plus average. Seen that a few times from both Jacob Taylor and Carl Wilkinson over the years.
Yeah, I mean, I marked some games for Carl Wilkinson over at the World Masters in Budapest, including against one of Jake's compatriots, Jake McMillan. And Carl has got really good board management. You know, in the first leg, he was going for treble 16s, treble 18s, just making the most of the board, which we haven't seen him do with as much success so far. But
58
was almost 2-2. But he's a long way in front here, so still the favourite to hold throw in this leg.
60. Call Unicorn 20.
He's going to get at least 6 goals at this if he needs them. Double five.
Yeah, that's
straight in.
Carl Wilkinson.
Nice work from Carl Wilkinson.
The Wilkie Bar Kid. I don't think that's going to stick. Might not say it again.
Is that one of your creations?
It came to mind. I didn't know if it worked. Probably doesn't. I don't think Carl's got quite the baby-faced demeanour for the Wilkie Bar Kid.
No.
It's quite a serious character.
40.
Stick with the sword for now. A nice bit of product placement, if I've ever seen one. Other razor blades are available.
Yeah.
81.
No, Carl's one of a trio of Yorkshiremen in this year's competition. Martin Turner and Darren Johnson.
83.
They're all good friends, have a good bit of banter on the tour. Carl being that bit younger than those guys, but...
And me.
Yes. Will we see you up on the stage at the tour this week, Mr. McCarthy?
Probably not.
Wonder if you're going to try and emulate Mr. Roderick's test heroics.
Yeah.
140.
Very, very fortunate that the cameras happened to be rolling at the time. Great birthday present to himself.
140.
Absolutely.
Carl Wilkinson has stolen a march in this 5th leg of the first set.
121. Call Unicorn 80.
So treble 20, the first port of call.
Pitch is low.
40. Jacob Unicorn 57.
Jacob Taylor missed the big number, so he's going to have to burn a dart to get to tops. Darts do lie quite flat.
37.
I don't know how helpful that first attempt at tops was.
No, tops hasn't been kind to either man
40.
so far. Carl just taking a minute to compose himself. He knows this is a breaker throw, and you know, would then put him in a position to be serving for the match, as it were, in that second set.
Well, he could have potentially won that set purely on double 5, but he hits tops this time.
Second set, first arc, it's called through first. Game on.
Bit of a smirk on Carl's face. I think he's enjoying himself at Lakeside.
I've been reliably informed by Scott Mitchell that the changes on Carl Wilkinson's Wikipedia page were done by Scott Waits, which would be quite impressive. But yeah, I mean, we spoke about Carl's appearance on the PDC Tour before. Scott's just said something that Carl had intimated to me before at the World Masters, was that he's actually not going to do Q School next year. He's decided that
31.
Playing for England, which he did earlier this year, but also doing this tour. I know he plays some stuff for the ADC as well, getting opportunities with Modus, playing for
41.
Yorkshire. He's got enough going on and playing local darts in Barnsley. That's more where he feels his game is at now, rather than the gauntlet that is that Pro Tour that he's been on before. So fair play to him. You know, it's a tough decision to make, but you know, it's a great addition to the WDF circuit. And obviously, great to hear from Scott as well, who'll be joining you in the commentary box later in the week.
Yeah, he certainly will. Both he and Lorraine Winstanley will be joining us from Thursday onwards.
Yeah, make a lovely addition to the commentary box, both of them. It did make me laugh when we did the draw. Lorraine said that her hope to win the men's was Paul Lim, which, I mean, that would be not just rolling back the years, that would be stuff of darting legend, but you know,
be some story. A darting septuagenarian.
I did enjoy. He filled in his Lakeside participation form for the programme, and Paul just put his age 70 plus.
44. Carl Unicorn 170.
The biggest finish of the lot. Couldn't follow the first start, and it looked really inviting as well.
Jacob Unicorn 116.
Oh, how's he snuck that in? Double 18.
18. Carl Unicorn
That first
72.
ton plus checkout of the tournament still eludes us. This 72 would be nice for Wilkie if he can take it.
That leaves double 6.
16.
And I'll say the early reactions to my Wilkie Bar Kid are not good, so we'll can that for now.
And let's keep short of the first line.
People can be so cruel, can't they?
Second line is Jacob to throw first. Keep.
I do have a confectionery-based nickname that I'm looking forward to unleashing during Matt Edgar v Jano Bottenberg.
Yes.
100.
The cake, in case you didn't get that.
I did rediscover a liking for Battenberg during last year's World Championships, I will admit.
43.
That'll be a treat to kick off the action tomorrow night. Matt Edgar playing here for the very first time.
I did see him in the venue today, and there is one famous darting face who'll be on his table tomorrow.
Who will that be, sir?
I'll tell you later.
41.
I'll leave the public guessing.
97.
What a raucous atmosphere here at the Lakeside for our final game of the evening.
Yeah, it's a well-oiled crowd.
100.
We're already seeing the benefits of having the extra session on a Friday evening.
Absolutely.
100.
Jacob finding his scoring boots in this leg.
Jacob Unicorn 104.
He's got time to do what he wants with 104.
56. 140. Jacob Unicorn.
Puts pressure on this 48. That leaves double 16.
Solid
from Jacob Taylor.
Yeah, very impressive
For the first time, there's no faffing on the doubles. One attempt, one dart thrown.
Absolutely.
16.
A little bit of frustration there in the expression of Carl Wilkinson, but he seems to be enjoying the crowd. So, I mean, this is a man who's played for England in the British International, so I'm sure he's accustomed to what raucous background noise sounds like. Those games do get quite emotional and invested, so he's used to it. But
114.
He's in a game here, Mr. Taylor.
100.
Jacob Taylor looking good for a potential clean sweep in this second set.
I mean, we saw in the last game, Francois Schweyen lost the first two legs, survived set darts, and then just won 6 on the spin. And in this short format, once you get momentum, the game can just run away from you or with you. Brian Raman was the same early doors as well.
Yeah, it's incredibly volatile, just first to 2 sets. The margin for error is very, very small.
61.
Well, he made that a bit tricky for himself. I'm a bit surprised he didn't go for treble 14. Taylor had to go for the bullseye there.
And he's made a right old mess of that, Jake Taylor.
14.
Top's not been too kind to Wilkie so far.
Double 5 has. And it is once again. We're going to start seeing him leave it on purpose.
I was once told by an experienced face in the game that no one misses double 5. Now, I've seen someone miss double 5 in this game already. That's not entirely true. But Carl Wilkinson living up to that mantra already.
96.
This is in the top quarter of the draw, so the winner will face the Slovenian thrower, the star, Benjamin Pratnama.
Yeah, be back in action the opening game on Tuesday afternoon. Benjamin, a very, very capable player, at his best year really on the WDF circuit this year, winning a lot more titles and looks in really good nick. And I suppose it's not going to be that different stylistically. Benjamin is very slow or methodical in his throw, but neither of these guys are what you would call on the more rapid side of the draw. And I mean, that whole section, Thomas Junghans, James Beaton, Bradley Kirk, none of them are rapid throwers. So you're going to be able to get into a rhythm, whoever is able to progress through this section. It's the faster players are in that section above, with Raman, Turner, Danny Porter.
14. Goal Unicorn 105.
Bad setup from Jake Taylor. 105, very doable. There's 90 left, he's got options. Might go treble 18.
What's the percentage play?
93.
I don't know if he was tempted to use that dart that landed in treble 5 as a guide for treble 20. Might have been the better play.
100.
But it's a chance here for Wilkinson to break, and then he's throwing for the match. Big darts incoming.
Yeah. And you think now with Taylor was on 82, and he made a right old mess of it.
Well, it's the low number doubles that are really helping Carl Wilkinson in this game.
And he gives it a big roar to the crowd and another fist pump as well. Wilkie's up for this, and I think he knows that he's got Taylor on the ropes here. He's one leg away from a spot in the second round, potentially, Mr. Wilkinson.
Fifth leg, it's got through first. Cable.
And it could be more disappointment for a man who's travelled from the other side of the world. Not quite as strenuous for Jake Taylor as coming from Australia or New Zealand, but still lots of disappointment if he loses. And Carl Wilkinson wants to ensure that he does lose.
100.
He's feeling it now. He's sharp, the sword.
97.
I think the issue for Jake really,
60.
early on there were missed doubles, but I think the set-up shots, particularly in this second set, there's just been a couple of loose starts, and that's opened the door for Carl, and he's really taken the ball by the horns, levelled it up, and now he's down to 106 after 9 in this leg, where if he wins it, he's through. That's playing well under pressure.
Well, Taylor needed a max there to leave a finish. Treble 18 would have left double 16, but
58.
No sweat for Carl Wilkinson. He's going to come back to try and seal the match. Treble 19.
139.
Well, is Jake Taylor about to bow out of his debut Lakeside campaign? The Yorkshireman eyes down 48. Double 16.
32. Jacob Unicorn, 62.
Well, Corny Groeneveld had a match start to beat Brian Raman and went on to lose. Could the same fate happen to Carl Wilkinson?
54.
2 set darts gone.
Taking his time here, Carl, really trying to compose himself. He saw he thought about going straight to the hockey and has decided instead to play Puppet Master with his Lakeside crowd. He's enjoying himself. He might enjoy another set, although I'm sure deep down he'd love to get the job done.
At the 5th attempt, Carl Wilkinson wins his first game at Lakeside. It got a bit panto towards the end there, but the sword is delighted with his performance. And in truth, Jacob Taylor was outplayed for the duration. He could have extended it to a 3rd set, but was unable to do so. And Wilkinson visibly emotional after sealing victory there. Taylor walks off the stage. It's disappointment for the Canadian. Carl Wilkinson could be a dark horse at Lakeside this week. He seals a 2nd round tie with Benjamin Prattnamar. That's it for this evening's action. A great first session it has been in the WDF World Championship. But join us again for more darts, a double session starting at 1 o'clock UK time. We'll see you tomorrow.